Okay, hello everyone, and getting updates already. So, as you can see, this is my very first time going live on YouTube. I had made a promise to myself that the beginning of 2024, I was going to become more active on YouTube because I've actually had subscribers. I don't like to call them subscribers. I don't like that word. I've actually had people who have been supporters and been ride or dies with me since day one. So my day ones have been telling me that they really enjoy like my content. They really enjoy like my YouTube videos. And they were like, hey girl, you need to do more. Like, where have you been? So I am here and decided to jump on real quick. And I think for me, getting back into YouTube, I think a great way for me to start to do that would be to actually participate in vlogmas. And I think the best way for me to do that would be to upload shorts, and when I'm not uploading a short, to go live that day. So for the past 2 days, I've actually uploaded like a short onto YouTube. So today I said, girlfriend, you got to go live. And actually Vlogmas started yesterday because Friday was December the 1st. So yeah, think I may have started like a day early. Charge it to my head, not my heart. So for those of you who don't know who the hell I am, and you're like, who is this Black woman in an Adidas hat on a Saturday morning looking like Wednesday Addams' older sister? My name is Dr. Carey Yazeed. I am considered, I guess, an influencer. Hell, I don't know. I'm an author. I've authored 9 books. My most recent book, which I released last year, is Unbreak My Soul: How Black Women Can Begin to Heal from Workplace Trauma. And that book is actually a workbook, and it has activities that I take women through who are in traumatic situations at work. They're being bullied, they've gone through microaggression, they're experiencing racism, maybe harassment on different levels. And so the workbook actually helps them to work through their emotions. In addition to, it has a work journal to help you to document in case you ever have to start working with an employment lawyer. So really good resource or tool, something that I didn't have when I was going through my workplace trauma several years ago, which was one of the main reasons that I left higher education as a professor. So all of that backstory done. So today I decided I was going to jump on, and I kind of want to talk about the whole Cassie Diddy situation, but from a different perspective. So I know everyone has, for the past week, 2 weeks, that has been a topic of a conversation. We talked about that over Thanksgiving dinner. Like, oh my God, can you believe that lawsuit that he actually settled so quickly? There's a piece that I've seen a lot of influencers, people in the media that have missed, or maybe not have missed, just have not discussed. So we've all been led to believe that Diddy is going to have to pay Cassie all of this damn money, right? And one thing that I think we're all overlooking is that what's going to happen is that Diddy is not going to have to directly come out of his pocket. The way the civil lawsuit was written up, what you're going to see take place, and let me backtrack. We probably won't see this take place because it's now at the point that neither one of them can say anything. NDAs have probably been signed. They've gone on about their merry way. Well, Cassie has. Diddy got some other stuff he got to deal with, which kind of brings me to what he's dealing with now. So one of the things that what is going to take place is that instead of Diddy having to actually pay Cassie, and if he decides to settle with the other 2 women who have come forward, it will be that the companies that he's affiliated with and the companies that he owns, because those companies have been listed in those civil lawsuits, will actually be the ones that will be paying out the settlement agreement, paying out whatever amount they agree. The reason for that is because businesses have what is called business liability insurance. And so that covers when there is misconduct on the part of the business or an employee of the business. Those businesses also usually have another type of insurance which pertains to directors and owners. And so when you have that policy that kicks in, what you see take place is if there is misconduct on the behavior of a director, a board of director, the owner of a company, an executive of the company, that insurance policy will also kick in. And so that one covers if there's sexual harassment, there's discrimination. So there are different types of insurances that major corporations have, that when they find themselves in a situation like this, even if it's just an allegation, those insurance policies will automatically, they're going to pay out. In Cassie's case, she probably walked away with a higher settlement because there was proof. There was also witnesses that were there who could, collaborate the stories that she had shared in her civil lawsuit. And so again, when you have documentation, which is what I kind of cover in my workbook, Unbreak My Soul, is that when you have documentation, that helps you to have a better case. So yeah, we can do the he say, she say, but when you have documented times, places, witnesses that were there, the mood of what was taking place, when you can get down to specific details, that gives you a better case when it comes to workplace abuse. So I know some people are probably sitting out there saying, girl, how the hell you got workplace abuse out of Cassie and Diddy? Like, they had a whole relationship for almost a decade? Yeah, they did. But what we have to also remember is that Cassie was an employee of Bad Boy Worldwide Entertainment. I think that's the name of his company, which is what the majority of his companies fall under, this big entertainment group that he has. And so she was signed to Bad Boy Records. She also was a model for Sean John Clothing. She was like the face of Sean John Clothing for a while. She performed with Diddy. She made video appearances. I want to say maybe co-wrote some songs, or she, made appearances on some songs. So in that case, he's not only her romantic partner, he's also her boss. He's her employee. So that is very important when you're looking at her case and you're looking at the amount of the settlement. Yes, he is worth almost $9 or $10 million. And well, no, I think, yeah, 900 or 1,000 million. And so her getting just like 10% of that, 1% of that, he could easily write a check. But what I need people to understand, and what the media is not telling you, is that most likely he will not be the one cutting the check. It will be the insurance, the companies that have insured his companies for business liability. They're going to be the ones that are actually writing the check, because they're going to file a claim against their insurance policies that they have. So look at it in terms of, you own a vehicle and you get into a wreck in your vehicle. Well, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go and file an insurance claim. Correct. And so the insurance, what the company does is they send an adjuster out. The adjuster is going to take a look at your vehicle and say, well, yes, that vehicle is totaled and we need to go ahead and cut them a check. So there's proof that there was damage done to your vehicle. Business liability insurance works the same way. So when you find yourself in a situation in the workplace where you are being harassed, you are being discriminated against, you see that you are a victim of harassment, microaggressions, and you document. So you document, you save emails, you gather up your evidence, you list eyewitnesses. When you go to an employment attorney, because that's who you need to go to. You don't need to go to Pookie and Ray Ray. You need to go and see an employment attorney. They can take that documentation, they present it to the company in the form of a civil lawsuit. From there, the company is going to contact their insurer. And again, the two types of insurances that they can have is going to be your basic business liability insurance. They're going to have directors and officers liability insurance, and that is the one that covers the company officers and board of directors when they're faced with these financially damaging lawsuits, and like, when they have been accused of doing something wrong. So it can even be alleged that the insurance companies will pay out. There's also another type of insurance that's called employment practices liability insurance. And I'm reading this from my website. So if you'd like to read more about this, there is an article on my website, drcareyyazeed.com, where I'll kind of break all of this down. But employment practices liability insurance, it addresses liability risk that arise from actual or alleged wrongdoing at work. And this can include sexual and non-sexual harassment, discrimination, and employee-related emotional distress, among other things. So I always say this: if you are ever in doubt about what you are experiencing in the workplace, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you need to immediately start documenting. Again, you can get your work journal, grab a copy of my my workbook, Unbreak My Soul, get you just a composition notebook, something. Start to document, start to save any evidence that you have, and you need to make an appointment with an employment attorney ASAP. Not a criminal attorney, not the ambulance chasers who handle car accidents, not a family attorney. You need to speak to an employment attorney, or you can speak to a civil rights attorney. And from there, they should be able to let you know if you have a case. And if you have a case, they will write up a civil lawsuit and they will file. You can also file a claim with EEOC. Basically what they do, they'll look over all of the evidence that you present, and they will say if they find any wrongdoing. Usually if they cannot determine if any wrongdoing was done, they would give you a window of time where you can still on your own go and file a lawsuit. You can file a civil lawsuit. So that's just some information I wanted to put out there as it pertains to workplace abuse. And how this whole case with Cassie and Diddy has really opened Pandora's box, but I think in a positive way, where she has empowered regular, everyday women, the average employee, to see that when something is done to you in the workplace, when you've experienced some type of trauma, some type of emotional harm that is impacting the way that you work, your livelihood, you getting a job 5 to 10 years down the line, that you can be compensated. And, there are a lot of people saying, oh my God, well, she's going after the money. Well, when you've suffered some mental distress and you are having physical ailments and you're just having to go to the doctor and, for ailments that you're having, and you're also having to see a psychiatrist and a therapist, that costs you money to go and see those individuals. And so the financial compensation is to reimburse you for what you spent on those things, but also for the lapse in employment that you may have. It also helps to compensate you for that. Don't be afraid. Walk through your fear. Know that you have rights. Know that these companies can compensate you if you decide to file a civil lawsuit, because they do have some type of business liability insurance that will cover them. So if you found today's video live, if you found today's live helpful, I want you to comment down below. And also, if you've gone through some stuff in the workplace, feel free to share. Like I said, 25 days of this, 25 days probably of me going live. So if there is a topic you'd like to hear me talk about, comment down below. I'll do my research, or if I know about it, you know, jump on. But I'm gonna start doing these more frequently. I'm thinking my times are either gonna be early in the morning or in the afternoon when people get off from work. I don't know about lunchtime because sometimes people have a hard time getting access in their phones or their computers. But let me know what would be a good time for me to go live that you would be happy to engage and help me get through vlogmas and start to up my YouTube game. So again, my name is Dr. Carey Yazeed, and if you have endured this live with me, thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.